The second important part to define is the emotion we'd like to see inside of the work. So think of this in two ways. One is how is the camera moving, which is whether the camera's moving in, zooming out, if it's on a dolly, if it's panning,
Hello?
right? If it's a drone shot,
Hello?
if it's a tripod shot, you can add
Narinig niyo
all
ba?
of these words to define the type of motion you like on the camera. Secondly, you can define what is moving inside of the scene. Now, you can think about this in a couple of ways. You can think about what is the character doing, but also what are the objects around it doing. So consider how perhaps a tree is moving, a car in the background, there are lights flickering, there's wind in her hair, and also underneath style. So this is the aesthetic, the stylistic choices that are really going to give your videos a consistent feel or more of a creative, intentional touch. So I'm going to be using this prompt, which is an attractive woman on a naval boat in the style of Wes Anderson. Red and blue tones, water moving, wind blowing, boat rocking, tripod shot. So just to
Yan,
break
ganyan.
down this formula and match it up to the sections that we just mentioned, we have the attractive woman on a naval boat in uniform. So here we
Tawasan
have
natin ang ilaw.
scene defined and also the outfit of our character, which is the subject. Next up, I've gone with the style of Wes Anderson, red and blue tones, which is defining the cinematic visual style as well as
Yan.
the color themes that I would like to see coming through. Now, you can notice that I've mixed up the order, so it does not need to be sequential, it does not need to be subject motion style. You can put these in any order that you feel. Finally, I defined the emotion that I would like, which is
Ayan, welcome po kayong lahat ngayon. Narinig niyo ba? Narinig niyo ba ako?
And what we're going to do is make sure that we navigate to the third option in the tabs at the top of your prompt window, and that's character. So make sure character is selected. Then you can put your prompt into the prompt box. And next up, we're going to select auto character prompt. And essentially, what this does is it enables Pixverse to automatically add a prompt to enhance the fidelity of your
Narinig niyo
character.
ba ako,
That
everyone?
they will automatically
Ano na?
enhance your prompt in the background.
Hello, ano na?
Extra words to make sure
Narinig niyo ba?
that the output video you get is closer
Narinig niyo ba?
to your
Ay, oo. Tama.
essentially they say you're not the right road, but prompts definitely make it better for you. And that's what we do without telling us or showing us. But I always recommend turning this on. Essentially, if you don't turn this on, you can get much lower quality results. So auto character prompts always leads to enhanced quality. Next up is negative prompt. And you can imagine this to be putting in what you don't want to see in the scene, things that you are looking to avoid. So for example, you could put in colors, trying to keep certain colors out of the shot, individuals, and also descriptive wording. So I put a yellow man ugly. Next up, we get to select our character. So you get this drop down menu here with all of the characters that we created. And I'll go ahead and pick Leo Nancy Libo. Next up, we select the aspect ratio. So you have the option of selecting 16:9, which is the ratio of this video right now. It's a landscape ratio and it's best for cinematic works. You also have the option to flip that to vertical, which is 9:16 portrait mode, which is great for shooting reels and shorts or short form content. There's also 1:1, which is square, and 4:3, which gives you a slightly more vintage feel. Next up is seed, and essentially you don't have to do anything with this.
Matuma lang market, walang nanonood.
You'll be using seed.
Masama ugali ko, wala akong friend, wala akong viewer.
Already created, but it's slightly different. So using the same seed each time, if you're creating a lot of the same
Wala akong
shot,
friend, wala
will
akong
help you
viewer.
create something that is very similar.
Masama ba ugali
I will show you
ko?
how that works. So once you have all those settings put in, all you have to do is go ahead and click on
Nako,
create.
nakakaano na
Now,
ako
what's
ha.
fantastic about Pixverse
4
is
minutes
that you
na,
can
wala
create
pang viewer.
videos simultaneously at the same time. So to do that, all you have to do is press create again. It's actually quite nice to create the same video a few times because each one is different. But I will show you a couple of variations of these settings. So we're going to create another one, and we're going to create another one with the same seed. So you can see here, each time we press create, seed will automatically change. But this time I've taken the same seed from the previous video.
Pixverse.
I'm going to use that again to insert And finally, we'll use the same seed again, but this time I'm going to turn off auto character prompt and go ahead and press create. Now, the videos take around about 2 minutes to render. However, this varies depending on how busy the servers are. Now, whilst that's loading, I want to tell you a little bit about getting the most out of Pixverse. And the first thing I want to talk about is the limit on video length. So currently, Pixverse creates videos that are 4 seconds long. Now, that might not sound a lot, but it's very interesting to notice that the average shot length in a modern film is actually only 2 to 3 seconds. So that means every time you're watching a film or TV show, that the camera shot is changing every 2 seconds. And that means you do not need extremely long 1 minute long shots to create a successful narrative. So it may sound like it's limiting to only have 4-second videos, but actually this is all we need to craft compelling and useful stories. Now it's interesting that this is actually shortened over time, and back in the heyday of cinema, this was actually more like 8 to 10 seconds. Now people may mention that the OpenAI tool Sora has purported to produce videos that are up to a minute long, and it's important to note about this is that Sora is unlikely to be available to the public anytime soon. And there are a few reasons for this. Firstly is that it's incredibly expensive to run. Now, I found this chat on Discord who's estimating the cost of creating videos inside Sora, and based on this loose calculation, they are estimating that it can take up to $173 to create 1 single minute of video. So if these estimations are even remotely accurate, Sora is going to be an incredibly expensive tool to have and manage. Some estimations have this generate about 5 minutes of video per hour per NVIDIA H100. And 1 single NVIDIA H100 will cost $40,000. So with that in mind, I think it's very important to be looking at other AI video generation tools, and especially understanding how they work puts us in good stead for being front of this technology as it evolves. Another important factor to consider is that Sora was created by OpenAI, and OpenAI has the image generator DALL-E, and DALL-E is prohibitively strict with the type of content that you can create. It does not allow you to create any images and the likeness of famous people alive or dead, or create any images in the style of existing artists or directors, again, living or dead. It also is extremely strict on creating anything that can be described as sensual or salacious. So anything exactly fun is not allowed in DALL-E. And you can also expect that that will be the exact same approach that they will have with creating videos with Sora. Now, Pixverse has its own terms of service. However, they do allow you to use the styles for people and have a generally more relaxed attitude whilst maintaining some ethical boundaries in the content you create. So let's go back and take a look at our videos that we've created. And now you can see our beautiful female protagonist is sitting on the boat, and you can see the water slowly splashing around in the background, and these strands of hair billowing in the wind. It kept the likeness of our individual very well, and it looks pretty wonderful. Now let's have a look at how the other versions of this have been created. Now here it's exactly the same prompt, but with a different seed number. And you can see here we get a slightly different interpretation of our book. So I was looking to choose British now. Aha! Britannia! Britannia! Roll away! Right, so now they get big. You can see that they use exactly the same prompt, but a different seed number. Now, this third video uses the same seed as the second video. And you can see that we get a very similar output, but they are slightly different. But this final version, you can see, is with the character box turned off. Actually, you get quite a different output.
Hoy, 9 minutes na, wala pa rin nanonood.
Now,
Animal.
these have all come out fairly well. And
Naku, matumalang market. Off ko na muna.
And AI video general.
Naku, mga friend.
It's an emerging technology. It has limitations. And we need to understand how to get the most out of it. And one of the most important factors about this is deciding what will be inside of the video. This is because AI video is capable of animating some things extremely well, and other things it struggles with. For example, with anything to do with complex physical motions, for example, dancing or playing sports, it struggles more. They manage walking fairly well, but I want to give you some ideas for some of the things they really excel at. What type of animation you're going to want to look at to really get the most out of it. And I suggest thinking about subtle pieces of motion
Bye!
with objects that are in the
Bye!
sea. So some of these include water, so ocean and waterfalls. You can see here that I've animated the water in the video we've been looking at here, and it looks very